You're on the punchline. What? Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
How are you doing? We are here, right? And I'm just trying to get everything organized because we're sitting around bitching. I was.
Yeah. James is bitching.
I'm bitching.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about today, peoples.
We do. We absolutely do.
Am I doing that YouTube?
I'm just trying to get everything put together for me, too. I know.
So.
Well, it's good to be
Lots
back.
going on. We're actually missing fights right now.
Now everybody's going to tune out and fucking go watch the fights. Why are you telling anybody?
They already know. These are all diehards.
Oh, I know. I'll tell you what, though. I did watch some of them tonight, and I'm going to tell you what. A lot of these young, up-and-coming fighters, the cream's rising to the crop, and the other ones you can see aren't as good as people say they are. You know what I mean? Who was the one the other night? How you doing, Sergio? What's up, David? How you doing? Yeah, you know what? This could, Donovan, we just talked about making this a fight companion episode. If somebody wants to throw on the fight on ESPN, we could do that. Great fight tonight. It's Jose Zepeda Jr.
When we do the fight companion, we're going to do it right.
Yeah, it's Jose Zepeda and Jose Ramirez Jr., one Olympian, Robert Garcia's fighter, and Zepeda was actually one of the biggest prospects in Los Angeles and the California area a couple of years ago. He's 30-1 right now, and I think the only reason he lost that fight is he dislocated his shoulder in a fight.
We got Michael Donahue who goes, hey guys, what do you think of Gervonta Davis when he finally steps up in competition against a Gary Russell or maybe a Lomachenko?
I think Gary Russell's too big for both. Well, he's too big for Gary Russell. Lomachenko is a whole different animal.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different fight, but I still think Gary Russell stands a good chance too, though.
Beating Gervonta?
Making a fight because of
Small,
his skills, though.
But he's a natural 122 guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, still, I think it would be interesting. The hand
for
speed,
a little bit.
Yeah, hand speed and everything. But Gervonta, I think they're going to have to make a move here. This obviously the Abner Ramirez fight fell out. He got injured. We all know about the eye. They played that up.
Things like that happen. He not only the eye, he had the elbow too going on. He's fighting two injuries. Had surgery on one, and the other one he's in a cast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
he's in a cast and has an eye fucked up. I mean,
Gervonta. I mean, it's not, I don't know how much it was his fault, but I'm sure they're going to step him up. I mean, they kind of got no choice here pretty soon.
It was hard to see how good Gervonta was last night. I don't think Hugo wanted to be there. He was looking for a way out from the minute he got hit.
There was a couple of fights last night that I seen like that.
Yeah, to me it looked like he took a shot and he just kind of packed it in when he felt his power. Mm-hmm. But also, I also noticed. I think we both noticed. We brought it when I called you. We both noticed Gervonta looked like he had a hand injury going in.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a fact. That's not what I'm saying, guys. Because I wrote a status on my Facebook, and before I knew it, there was news reports out that he had a hand injury. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
I noticed after the fight when he was walking back.
I did.
That's when it was obvious. Well, yeah, he looked at it. It looked at his hand, and that's why I said I don't know if it was forearm or if it was the hand, but it was something along the lines of that. So
Eddie Hagan says Tevin Farmer dogs Gervonta. I don't see that, Eddie. I don't even think Tevin can hurt Gervonta Davis. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. But what struck me, Kelly, was this: the minute that I noticed Gervonta in a pair of winning safety tech gloves. I've seen fighters wear winning gloves, not a problem. But when they wear those safety tech gloves, those are therapeutic gloves. They're the same ones that Canelo had and Floyd used to wear throughout his career.
And that's probably a good. Here's my take on that, though. I do agree with it, and I understand where you're coming from on that. But why would they wear those if everybody knows?
Everybody does.
Well, in the boxing world, they know. You know what I mean? Like people that are in the fights and trainers and shit like that, they would know.
I think by the time the fight happens, it's too late. But they got to protect their hands. Yeah. You don't want to break it in the ring,
To wear that, I don't know why winning would also make that like that either.
Well, they make them for that reason because there are hand injuries.
But with the color logo.
Oh, well, that just shows that gold logo on the outside shows their safety techs.
That's what I'm saying.
Because a lot of times they use them for mitt work,
That's what I'm saying. But still, even during a fight, I know it's too late, but that still shows an opponent weakness. Yeah. So I don't know about that. That's crazy.
Thank you, Donovan. I appreciate it. Donovan said ESPN mute, punchline volume on. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Punchline says, what effect do you think it would have to see your former trainer across the ring in your opponent's corner? Freddie Roach trained Ramirez, now trains Zepeda. I don't know, Kelly, you answer that. You're better at that than me.
I don't think at that point during a fight or fight moment that it makes that big of a difference.
Yeah.
now leading up throughout the camp, I think it could.
Yeah.
And you got to worry about what that trainer knows of you,
Yeah.
and what he might be sharing, especially depending on how long they work together.
Yeah.
That become a big issue.
I experienced it when I was young. I fought a few amateur fights for Joe Goosen when I was a kid, and then I turned around and I did some fights. I did some fights with Rudy later on, and I remember fighting against a kid that Joe Goosen was bringing up. So I remember being across the ring from him then, and it didn't make that much of a difference. It was nice to see him. It's you're an amateur. You're a kid. You're a fucking kid. No one cares.
Especially once it's fight time. I mean, your mind's so locked in on what you've been training on and what you've been working on.
And the only reason I left was because of traveling. You know how far Oxnard is to Van Nuys. It's not close.
Well, hey, Swarm Fight Team says, tonight's question from the Swarm.
Yes.
Why, in your opinions, is MMA the worst in athletes missing weight? Boxing, wrestling have very few missed weigh-ins.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah,
we just hadn't missed weight
last night.
I
mean, he made it on a second attempt, but
I really don't have an answer for that. I wish I did. I think it's just individual. There are just some fighters that are disciplined and then there's fighters that are undisciplined in MMA and boxing. I think it's individual on an individual basis. But I will say this: I think MMA's conditioning is harder than boxing. Kelly's going to probably disagree, but I've done both. I have done both, and I think the conditioning from MMA is harder. But I think boxing's conditioning is longer, more structured.
Yeah, I'm not arguing on that.
I'm just saying it's more boxing's more structured.
Yeah, but we've seen when a guy like McGregor went into boxing, he was dead tired by the fifth, fourth time. So,
what's going up, Danny? How did your fight go? What's up, Dan? I don't know who that is. Okay.
Who is Madonna going to fight? That's a good question.
He wants to come to welterweight. So, I mean, the welterweight division's open. Do I think he makes welterweight? He's 60 pounds over. I don't know. And, we're still looking a year out before he's even going to make weight and be in shape for that because he's, I don't know.
He's going to take a warm-up fight.
Marcos is your age. You know what I mean? He's still in that frame, I think maybe 54 would be somewhere I would like to see him go.
See, that's why I'm being smart. I mean, I make my comeback. I'm doing it at 200.
Yeah, you're not trying to turn back the clock.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna be fucking eating ice cream at the win.
Yeah. Sergio said, Kelly James, I just had a great live session about discounting a win after the fact. Now shifting a little, who has Spence beaten that makes him the modern day version of Charles Burley? Mikey's getting discounted by fluff perception. If I pull Spence's resume, I don't think it's who he's fought. I think it's the way he's looked when he's fought. And sometimes that speaks volumes. It's the people that Spence has fought, which are some solid fighters. Algieri's he's a solid fighter. You have guys like Brooke, a solid fighter, and he's putting these guys away easy. The guy can fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know boxing, you know that Spence is a badass and he's legit. He's big, he's fast, he's
strong.
Yeah, just the power, the strength, the speed. He's the total package, and you don't have to go far. And the guys that he is fighting, that's what makes it. Later on in the show, I'd like to get into another subject with that, but he's beaten guys that were fairly good, and not only did he beat them, he destroyed them and knocked them out. So we know that, but we also seen weaknesses in Spence too.
Yeah,
we really have, and that's why it goes back on with the Mikey thing. To think that the fight is going to be totally one-sided is absolutely crazy to think that.
Oh, by the way, can I interrupt you about something? I want to look at your shirt. I want to thank Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Virgil Ortiz Sr. for sending us out Virgil Ortiz shirts. I got mine too, and you got yours.
Badass.
Thank you so much, guys. We love him. We always support. He's one, and I'll tell you what, he's one of our favorite. I don't even want to call him prospect anymore. He's a contender at this point. But
Uncle Sham says Kelly should make his comeback fight versus Madonna.
Madonna's 5'5". Yeah. It ain't gonna happen. He might as well be fighting.
No, but I do want to thank.
He might as well be fighting me.
Exactly. I do want to fight Virgil Ortiz. Now you got a 2-inch height advantage on him.
I got 3 or 4.
On who?
Madonna.
How tall is he?
Nah, he's 5'6".
Is he?
Yeah. He's about the same he's about the same height as Mikey. Maybe Mikey's a little taller.
Right.
Do you know who's taller than who's taller than people think? Brandon Rios. You don't think of him as tall, and then he's about 5'9". He's taller than people think.
Yeah, I don't know.
You ever notice he's a little tall?
Not bad.
But no, he's out talking about why they're discounting Mike. They're not really discounting Mike. I think they're just going on the intangibles, and people automatically think that people get this idea in their head that Mikey Garcia is a one-dimensional guy and he's easy to figure out, and he's easy to. But everybody says that in every fight he's in, and every time they're proven wrong. And it seems like That's become the norm now. Let's just shit on Mikey every fight, and eventually we're going to be right. That was the same attitude people had with Floyd Mayweather. We're going to shit on him until we get right.
I hate to use Broner as an example due to the fact that he has lost a couple fights, but Broner's a hell of a fighter, and everybody thought that Broner, it was going to be a great boxing show that Broner was going to put on. And look what Mikey did. He surprised everybody.
And then Robert Easter?
I thought Mikey was going to win the fight against Broner, but I didn't think he was going to do it as easy as he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it. It was a blowout.
I think he was more dominant than Manny Pacquiao was.
Yep. What's up, David Martinez on YouTube? Michael Donahue goes, do you think AJ has any issues with Jarrell Miller? And how do you think AJ does in his first fight in the States? That was what I got into today, and I'm frustrated with. Everybody's saying that Big Baby Miller hasn't fought nobody and that Joshua is going to wipe the floor with him. I don't see it. First of all, AJ struggled with Parker, and in my opinion, Parker and Miller toss-up. Jarrell Miller is a 320-pound big guy who throws probably 75 to 80 punches a round. And you say he hasn't fought nobody. Well, who's somebody really in the heavyweight division?
There's four somebodies.
Exactly. And the one is he throws windmills and don't know how to go to the body. And Wilder. So to say that Joshua is going to wipe the floor with Miller, my thing is, how is Joshua's muscle endurance going to hold up from keeping a 310-pound man off of him, first of all, and then secondly, keep up with a 75 to 80 punch output during the fight? I don't see how that's going to happen. I'm not saying Miller is going to win the fight, but to say that he has no chance is crazy. And actually, right now, I am leaning towards Big Baby to win that fight.
I am too. I am too, Dan. I am too. At this point in his career, Mayweather, Shane, De La Hoya, Tito, Vargas were light years ahead. I don't know about that, Sergio. I think it was a different time period. They had the fighters out there to make him better. He's talking about their light years ahead of Errol Spence. There was those fights available then. We don't have the same fighters in that division as they did back in the 90s to make themselves better. And were they light years ahead?
Welterweight, I think they do a little bit.
But he's talking about De La Hoya, Vargas, Tito, and Mayweather. There was so much talent. And you got to remember, the talent was still better in the 90s than it is now.
Yeah, it is. But
that was one division. I mean, we're talking about one division, but we're talking about across the board.
Because you're still saying you do got a great fighter in Garcia, you got a great fighter in Crawford, pound for pound, and you got Spence.
I agree. But what I'm saying, like, here's what I say. But those were one fighter in one division. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the 90s and early 2000s to mid 2000s. The divisions were loaded. You know what I mean? I mean, you could go shit. Even your guys in your bottom 10 could beat a lot of these champions nowadays. You had guys like Ivan Robinson, who would have cleaned the 140 division out.
See, I don't think Ivan Robinson.
You don't think so?
No, he struggled with a Gotti who was a guy to be hit.
Okay, but what about a guy like Shannon Taylor at 140? Or you know what I mean?
Shannon Taylor was really
good, man.
But then you go on to that, and I'm going to hate to say it, but again, I'm going to use a Mikey Garcia. I'll use a Lomachenko, which is you can use different weight classes. Division, yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't see too many guys beating him at that weight, even back then. So I mean, obviously the 90s. Yeah, you're talking about.
What do you think?
Greats.
What do you think? Shane Mosley at 135 and Mikey at 135. You got to really? I mean, dude.
Ooh.
See.
But who did Mosley really beat at 135?
He cleaned the division out.
He did.
Golden Johnson, Tate, he beat everyone.
But when
Shannon
it was all
Taylor,
said
we
and
just
done,
talking about Shannon Taylor
came in and was right there at the same time.
Yeah,
around the same time.
Spatafor wasn't really chasing that fight either. You know what I mean? But
he became world champ at that weight.
He did, but he was because
the competition was kind of.
He was promoted by Mike Akery, who wasn't going to let him fight anybody.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the competition was there for him to win the world title.
Sergio said, so why not my Cuban boy? The Cuban Kong's 47 years old. I don't know how much he has left, Sergio.
But that's another one, though, I wanted to go on. I mean, I still give him a hell of a shot against Anthony Joshua. I actually think that Ortiz beats Joshua.
I do, too. I don't... Ortiz and Joshua?
I think so.
I don't know. I think Joshua still beat Ortiz. But I think Big Baby Miller's a surprise. I think that's a shocker. I think I could see that happening. I don't know.
Damon Martinez says, don't forget, Baby Miller had a whole kickboxing career already, much like Algieri.
Yeah. But Bobby said, what decade was the best? You know, Bobby, I really couldn't answer that. Maybe Kelly. I thought the 80s and 90s were really good, and I thought that the mid 2000s were really good. I think boxing kind of went another direction, like 2010, maybe 2011 started, and then we kind of had a drought, and then back in like 2014 we started picking up the pace again.
I thought the heavy going from like 88 to 98,
yeah,
or even 89 and 99.
Yeah,
the heavyweight division was probably at one of the best in my opinion.
I can see that too. Yes, F. Sponsor Angel Manfredi at 140. You know, Angel. The thing with Angel, he had a talent cutoff. He was good, but he wasn't elite. And I like Angel. Angel's a friend of mine. But let's be honest. We're not on this show to make friends. And we're not on this show to say something that's not true. Angel was never going to be more than Angel was.
Angel was a gatekeeper.
He was a good
from
fighter.
the beginning. He was good enough to compete.
Yes, but Angel beating Shane Mosley. Well, we saw what Paul Spadafore did to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Angel Manfredi was a really good test for a prospect or a contender.
Yes.
And even at that line of getting ready for a world title fight.
Yeah.
Because Angel Manfredi, if you slept on him, he could still beat you, though.
Manfredi had pop. He really could hit. He had big hands for a lightweight. But I don't know.
Uncle Sham says Usyk will be successful at heavyweight.
I think so too.
I do too. I think
so too.
Now when you get him into that division, now you're talking about good matchups, really good matchups that you would want to see.
Yeah.
Corte would even do pretty well against today's welters.
Jimmy said, now hearing Chino is back. Any truth that? Yes, he's coming back. I don't know if Robert's going to be involved. Last we talked, I heard from Robert. Robert said he hasn't heard from Maidana at all. He hasn't talked to him. So as of now, I don't know. It could change. You know, sometimes. Right now, he just signed a contract with PBC, so we'll see where he goes. And I think he's being based out of Vegas. So Robert's in Riverside, so I don't know. But it could happen.
Yeah. This is a good one that I just brought up. Well, I'll get to Damon's after, but
Beltran's about to fight.
He goes, Corte would even do pretty well against today's welters. I think so.
I think he would.
But I don't see him being the top. I still see Crawford and Spence beating Corte.
Corte was always that third guy. You know, you always had the top two welters. Yeah. He was that third champion.
I see a guy like Sean Porter beating Corte. Yeah, we keep forgetting about Porter. That's not saying it because of my home. Well, but Porter's up here at the top of that division. He's going to be a tough fight for anybody.
Let's call facts on this, guys. If you got past Cortez' jab, that poleaxing, that pulverizing jab, he was just like every average fighter. Yeah. Once you got past, and you know what, De La Hoya kind of figured it out late in the fight. You know what I mean? Good fighters
did because his jab was just a stiff, hard jab,
and it was fast.
It was
a great jab. But once you got past that, he became everybody else.
Yep.
Who I worried about was guys like Trinidad and guys like De La Hoya. And those guys were the ones that would hurt you with any punch they threw. It could happen any moment.
And they changed up their jab.
Yes. How you doing, Amanda?
David goes, do you guys feel like promotion companies these days are really taking time picking who's going to box and who's not? It seems like personality and sell points are a little more important these days. I think a little bit. You got to look at it like social media.
Yeah.
The accessibility to fighters. And seeing what they put out there, it's easier for a fighter actually to market himself under how much the promoter allows them to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I see promoters being a little more lenient, and I see them in a little bit more of a hurry of making fighters into champions and trying to get them big paydays also. Yeah. Most of the promotional groups, other than Top Rank.
Well, that's the goal for any one of them. Anybody that says they work with fighters for free, you know, like my favorite quote is from Joe Dirt when they talk about UNICEF getting in the business. They'll let you know. That's the same with boxing. You know, it's not a charity and it's not free. When UNICEF gets involved with boxing, we'll let you know. But right now, a promoter's job, a manager's job, a trainer's job is to make money.
That's the
bottom line.
Nobody's in boxing.
I guarantee
not making money.
Well, I guarantee this: Robert Garcia loves all his fighters. He loves Kelly. He loves Mikey. But the bottom line is, he needs to be paid for his services, and that's with anybody. Boxing is a sport where it's a what have you done for me lately?
Mm-hmm. Uncle Sham, have you ever faced a Japanese fighter? No.
I have, in the amateurs.
Ricky goes, Bradley is a third guy. Bradley was always a third.
Yeah, he's a third guy.
He is.
Yeah, he's that third guy. You know, when I say that, you everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? You guys have, and I know Kelly definitely does. there's always those 2 elite champions in every division, and then there's that third guy that just kind of rounds out that little pyramid. And you can go to any division, and there's those 3 guys.
Exactly.
And for the heavyweight division, you got who? Fury, Wilder, and Joshua, right?
Yep.
And I don't know how order you got it, but those are the 3 guys.
I got Joshua actually as
on the bottom, right? The third guy, right? And then you might have Dylan White just pushing the edge of that, and then the cruiserweight division, is the same. It'll be you and Usyk, Kelly Usyk, and
fuck.
Kelly, you're the third guy.
I'll be fuck. I don't give a fuck. Hey, if I come back after 7 years, I'll be the third guy.
That's all right. You'll probably be the third guy on your own.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit. Bobby, I'll have you. Bobby has a question. How are politics playing a role in boxing today compared to the past to fight for the belt?
What happened? I'm trying to.
Bobby said, "How are politics playing a role in boxing today compared to the past to fighting for a belt?"
It's not.
No different, huh?
No, it's the same. Nothing's changed on that. Going into that again too with the belts. I was talking with a guy last night. Too many belts, and I think everybody's like they should go back to just one title.
So what?
But listen, think about it. If you went back to one title, do you know how many missed great matchups you would have? Like how many prospects and contenders that are like right on the brink that would never really be able to get a shot or a fair shake at a title fight because or the champion would be dead. By the time you have to have these other alphabet groups or these other sanctioning bodies in there, so that way it breaks down the guys better. They become world champions, and then it makes the build up better, and these big fights happen quicker.
Well, and also, the thing is, back in those days when there was only one belt, champions would sit on their belt for years and monopolize that time on the belt. You had fighters like, let's go back. I hate going back to the old days, but let's go to Sam Langford. Guy had 200 fucking wins, and he never fought for a title because the champions of that division sat on their title. I mean, you would not have and these other belts, I don't look at all of them as champions, but the thing is, it puts them in the ranking. It puts them as contenders to move into higher paydays and higher profile and higher paydays. And that's what you want for these guys. You want these guys to get paid in higher profiles. That's what these sanctioning bodies do. Do I agree with having?
I think they're
15
rushing
super champions?
Some of them too quick though.
Yes.
They're not going to ever have a career in his $350,000 paydays.
That's crazy.
Their money's gone.
Yeah.
But Damon goes, let me get real quick. End of the day, Rotten Cage. Hold on 1 second on that. Julian goes, yeah, we are doing live on Sunday.
Yes.
From now on, Julian.
Until football season.
He said Borgera took a beating last night. He is tough, but seemed a little off. That fight was hard to watch. I really watched I still watch most of it.
Yeah.
But they both of them guys looked horrible. Fortuna and him, right? That's the fight.
Fortuna's looked horrible in the fight in Dallas too.
You did. Well, you
got knocked
quit
out
on that.
He quit.
And going on fighters that seemed like they quit last night. Damon goes, Kelly, James, Machado versus Canzio. The Machado feel Puerto Rican fans are really riding him for Puerto Rican boxing and downplaying Canzio's performance. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I think Machado kind of cashed in early last night.
He did.
I don't think he wanted to be there. I think he felt the body shots. And it's a sad day for Puerto Rican boxing. Let's be honest. All their Verdejo has proven himself shit. And Machado, who I never was high on anyway, to be honest, I never thought he's always seemed to pull out with a big punch, a big fight. So I'm kind of wary on that.
See, Casillas, I'm not downplaying him. I thought he came and he fought a hell of a fight.
He did.
I mean, he came in balls to the wall and was going for the win. I just think Machado, yes, I think he was finding a place to lay down. And I actually seen that 2 rounds earlier. Yeah. And I kept saying to myself, like, you don't want this fight,
Mm-mm.
And then that round before, I could see him really looking for a place to lay down and quit. And then that round when he went down the first time, I just knew it was a matter of time.
The thing that got me, I was watching on social media, people are making fun of Cancio because he does construction work. So fucking what? These people, they do not understand that not every fighter signs $1 million contracts. They don't get $1 million signing bonuses. They're getting $100,000. They have to work regular jobs. At least I would say 90%, 95% of all fighters work a regular job. Construction, data entry, school teachers, they do this, or they teach boxing. You know what I mean? Yeah. They run a gym. They do something. What did you do when you first started boxing?
I washed dishes. I did construction. I did landscaping.
What? You didn't get $1 million signing bonus, Kelly?
No.
Right?
I mean, when I got the signing bonus, I acted like I got a couple $1 million. But you're quick on that.
There's some good questions here. Yama Gaye Hode says, do you guys see Khan beating Crawford if he doesn't get touched on the chin and get knocked out? Absolutely. I could see that. I can see Khan beating Crawford if his chin can withstand the pressure.
Absolutely.
I can see it. Yeah.
I said that. We said that 3 weeks ago.
We said 3 weeks ago. Yes. Somebody asked about what do we think about Lubin beating Ishe. I saw that. Ishe is getting old, guys, and I did not, just because Lubin got caught early and knocked out by the brothers. You know what I'm talking about. Charlo. Yeah. It was not enough for me to shit on Lubin. He got caught, but I think Lubin's talented.
All right. What are your thoughts on Tank being the next pay-per-view star?
No, I don't know yet.
Yeah, he keeps knocking people out. Yeah, he's bringing some attention. I mean, they mentioned last night he's got a shitload of followers on social media. Kelly, let's see. Hold on. I had a couple here I want to get on this. White was complaining about AJ refusing to enroll in the Nevada testing. If you don't do it, I think he should be fined and shouldn't be allowed to fight.
Oh, look at AJ. Did you wonder why he wouldn't?
Yeah, right.
John Ferruzzi says the WBA is ridiculous with super champion and regular champion nonsense. You know, I agree, John. I think that there's nothing wrong with having a couple champions, one in each division from one fighter. But how else are these sanctioning bodies going to take all this sanctioning body money from multiple fighters? You have 15 world champions. You have 15 sanctioning fees. You know what I mean? Yep. And these sanctioning fees, some of these these sanctioning bodies are making 2 to 5% of every purse. That's a lot of money on every given weekend. Yep. And that's what it is. It's a racket. It's a new way it's the new mob extorting new money. It's the way it is.
Damon says, how does Puerto Rico fix its boxing program? Are fans expecting too much from Puerto Rican boxers? Expecting a Tito or a Camacho and getting an average boxer?
I just think that they're in a downturn. Every country has it. Mexico's had some shitty years. Yep. And right now there's a kid in Puerto Rico that's the next world champion. There's a teenager coming up right now.
You guys say, they're saying Tito, you guys in Camacho. You just had Cotto.
Cotto just
retired.
He's great.
So, you'll get people, you'll get Puerto Rican fighters.
Yeah, I don't think Puerto Rico's done by boxing. With boxing by a long shot. I think they're one of the greatest country, or even, no, not a country. Well, yeah, it is, but it's our country, our territory. Yeah. But I think it's one of the greatest places for boxing to come out of.
Yeah, it ain't going to go nowhere. Uncle Sham goes, Swarm goes, last one. If Kelly could have had any play-by-play announcer, alive or not, call one of his fights, who would it be and why? Oh, man.
Marv Albert's going to bite your ass. You remember that? You remember that when he bit that chick's ass, Marv Albert?
I had Bernstein,
Yeah, you had, and then you had Lampley. You had Lampley did one.
Yeah, Lampley.
Who's else?
Maybe Cassell.
Howard Cosell.
That'd be
a good one.
Hell yeah, Howard Cosell.
Would you do Howard Cosell? What about?
I think I would, just because I pretty much almost had all the other greats.
You would need one of those guys from the 1930s. The ones that talk like Annie told the right and I left. Those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree, Joel. It is a joke, but the thing is, that's how these guys extort money from fighters. Having 3 champions, having one champion every division from the WBA would only give one sanctioning fee money, so they'd only get paid once or twice a year. You know what I mean? He said sanctioning bodies having all these champions are a joke. I said, but that's not how they run. They make 10 intercontinental champions, 1 silver champion, 2 bronze, some Pico Latin champion, and they're getting.
I think they could do away with that.
Yes.
I think like how the NABF and USBA worked, and I'm going to bring those up because
they were good.
One of the big ones.
They would throw you in the top 15.
Yeah, so you got those belts. We knew to keep an eye on you. And then I still agree with the 4 major titles. Because if you cut them down, it's just going to be hard. And a lot of these young prospects ain't going to get their shot.
It's true. There was a recent fight where a guy is number 1 contender, but not the mandatory. That happens. Sometimes the mandatory has that spot before the number 1 contender, and usually what'll happen, and you know this. Usually what'll happen is that number 1 contender will pay the mandatory to step aside so he can get that mandatory spot, and he'll give him a percentage of his purse, 100,000, whatever, 50,000 step aside. Most of the time they will. It's free money to do nothing, Yeah.
There's a good one. Uncle Sham goes, Gervonta versus Tifimo, and Damon goes, I think Tank would bust Lopez's ass if they fought today.
It's too early.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. I still think that's a good matchup.
I do too.
I don't see how you could say either one will either one would whip each other's ass. I don't know. That's a good one.
I think Teofimo's not ready for a guy like Gervonta yet. I think, and I like Teofimo. I'm high on Teofimo, but let's.
He makes too many amateur mistakes right now.
Teofimo still does a lot of things that
he's
he
a
will.
Bad motherfucker.
Oh, he is. But the thing is, he does things that good fighters will hold him accountable for.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can see it, and Kelly can see it, and you guys can see it, so can they.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be a good one, though. It really would. I just think if anything would help Teofimo in that fight also.
Yeah.
I think a couple more fights, it's not about whose skill's better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're hand in hand.
I agree.
Skill-wise. I just think a couple more fights for Teofimo. But if it was still to happen, Teofimo's bigger. The big boy.
Julie said, "Hey James, hello Kelly, shared for you. Thank you so much, Julie. You are amazing. Thank you so much." Julian said, "Did you guys see Nacho Bernstein's boxer Ray Vargas last night? He said he was willing to move up to 26 to fight Santa Cruz. Good fight." Julian, I did. And the thing is this, Ray don't move his head enough. And a guy like Santa Cruz would beat your ass if you don't move your head and you don't have a little bit of defense. Santa Cruz hits hard, and that volume punching.
That's where I could agree with you on the volume punching with a Santa Cruz against a guy like
Ray Vargas.
Yeah, I see it being
and he's just as big as Vargas, just as tall.
Being brutal, yeah.
Santa Cruz is relentless. He throws 100 punches around, anywhere from 80 to 100 punches, 120 punches around, and he punches hard.
I mean, we seen last night Vargas got clipped and went down.
Yeah.
By reaching and just some bad mistakes that he makes. But
let's talk about who was that contender last night that looked really bad. You know what I'm talking about? Who was it? I thought he looked really bad. Barrios. And Barrios is a good kid. Let's be honest. I think so. I think Mario Barrios is good. We're about to have him on the show, but I just watched him yesterday, and this is what I was talking about. A lot of these prospects, and tonight too, I'm going to say it, Gabriel Flores looked like shit tonight. He looked terrible. And I know, his dad's big, they watch the show, whatever. But Gabriel Flores and I think, and Mario Barrios, I think these prospects are coming up, and I think it's coming home to roost. You're starting to see the cream rise to the top. You have guys like Virgil Ortiz and Teofimo going to the top, and you have these other guys that are just kind of staying here.
I think Barrios is a strong guy. He's big for his weight.
Yes.
and he's technically sound.
Yes.
He's not overly great in any aspect. I think he's going to be a better measuring stick for contenders, though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
At the weight that he's at, or even if he moves up, he's going to be a guy where you're going to put your very talented prospect in against to see where he's at.
Well, absolutely, I agree. But I also think too, I think Gabriel Flores will look better too. But I'll tell you what I'm not a fan of, and I don't know, you might disagree. The shit you do after the fight. The first thing Gabriel Flores did, and he looked like shit. He won every round, but he looked like shit. He got hit a lot. And if Torres was any better, it would have been curtains for Flores. Anybody seen that, guys? You guys agree? First thing he does is put a big fucking gold chain on, right? Starts kissing his biceps like he had this big knockout, right? And then doing this defensive thing like this while the ref is trying to hold his hand. I'm like, just stop. You look like shit tonight. And if I were you, I'd humble yourself a little bit before God and your family.
Pittsburgh goes, "Hey guys, hope you're well. Been wondering if Kelly knew Arturo Gatti and if you guys had a friendship at all." I knew him decently well. I'm not going to say that we were.
You guys hung out, right?
Buddies. We hung out one time, and I talked to him, unfortunately, a couple nights before he passed, and I always had and always will have the utmost respect for Arturo Gatti as a person and as a fighter. What he gave to the sport and what he put into it showed a lot, and he's definitely missed.
Beltran just dropped Okada. Thank you, Donovan, for the update. No, and I agree, Oliver. Machado did not want to be there, and I saw it too. He got hit to the body, and I think he was like, "This is gonna be a long night."
Yeah,
and you know what?
He wanted out,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting out, but my thing is there is something wrong with that, but. There's nothing wrong with taking a body shot and getting up, do your count, and fight. But he got hit again, and he was like, fuck this.
He got on a bike.
But I will say one thing, and I don't know if you agree. Jack Reese proved to me last night he's the best referee in the business. Again.
He's good.
And people talk so much shit about Jack and the Fury and Wildfire. I think that was awesome what he did. But every fight, he shows why he is head and shoulders above every other ref.
Exactly. Damon says, Kelly James, if there was a 147-pound tourney with Bud, Porter, Spence, and Mikey, what four fighters from the 90s, early 2000s would you put in the tournament?
Crawford, Trinidad, Ike, Cortez.
Well, yeah, Crawford. Yeah, I would put
I mean, not
Trinidad.
Crawford. De La Hoya,
De La Hoya.
Trinidad, I Corte,
Yep.
and who's the last 147? Mosley.
Mosley. Wow.
Mosley, those are my 4.
Okay, but here's my scratch.
Okay.
Mosley loses to Crawford, I think.
Okay.
And possibly Spence, because Spence is so strong.
Okay, but what about this?
And you remember Mosley was at 135.
De La Hoya beats Crawford.
That's hard. Yeah, but that's in a great fight.
De La Hoya beats Spence. De La Hoya beats Mikey. De La Hoya just beats all 4 of those motherfuckers. Let's be honest, guys.
That's a good one, though, man.
But
Damon.
But you know what? I think Trinidad would put it on Crawford.
I'm sorry. I don't.
I do. Trinidad was Crawford. So, can you imagine somebody fighting Crawford with more pure technique than Crawford? Which is Trinidad. Trinidad had the best pure technique of any fighter.
I can see Trinidad beating Spence because Spence was there to be hit.
I don't know. His chin. His chin, man. But look, Mikey and Mosley would be a fucking fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Mikey and Mosley, that's a toss-up. But now look, and I think Mikey
takes away Trinidad, the weapons of Trinidad, because Trinidad was just mainly a big left hook guy. I think Mikey, with his boxing knowledge and ring IQ, takes that away from him.
Let's be honest. I think De La Hoya wins the whole fucking tournament.
But what do
you think, Justin?
I agree. What makes it hard, though, is that Felix Trinidad was a natural 147 pounder, too, though. And so he's going to have the size advantage over Mikey, because we can't really put Mikey into that right now. He hasn't even fought at 147 yet.
Yeah, but this was a tournament. But you know what, though? Trinidad
with De La Hoya in there, that's hard.
I think Spence would be a better fight for Trinidad. I think Trinidad would have trouble with Spence. But I think the biggest trouble would be I think De La Hoya would beat Spence, and I think De La Hoya would basically beat everybody in there. And I'm not saying just because I like De La Hoya. I'm just saying if you go by the styles, the biggest, and the only one that would give De La Hoya trouble is Porter. I'm going to tell you why. Porter, his style would give De La Hoya fits.
I think Porter gives all of them a fit.
Yeah.
But I personally think that Trinidad beats Spence easier than any other ones, and I think that he don't beat Crawford.
Yeah.
And I think a guy like Mikey, if Trinidad beats Mikey, is more so because he's a natural 147 pounder. But I think he takes away that hook.
Yeah.
And makes the right foot movements and makes it a long night for Trinidad.
Well, right now we're getting the same thing from Joe. Mikey would be too small. That's what everybody says until he fights. Ricky, they said he was too small for 40 too, and they said he was too small for 35. Mikey was too small for 30. When does it fucking stop, right? Julian says, sorry, going back to ESPN. Well, go fuck yourself, Julian. No one gives a fuck. Yeah. Go to ESPN.
Pittsburgh says,
see, I agree with Kevin. Trinidad would wear butt out. Dude, I really think so. That power, though, man, that's something. And he's a better boxer.
Then you think he's a better boxer than Crawford?
Yes, I think Trinidad was.
I think Trinidad. On that one.
Trinidad had a killer instinct just like Crawford. I think he was a bigger puncher than Crawford.
Yeah, I don't think.
Do you think Crawford hit harder than Trinidad?
With both hands, yeah, I think Trinidad definitely had a better left hook.
He had better right hand too.
Well, because he was orthodox, but
he had a better right hand, I think, too.
I don't know.
I have never seen Crawford put anybody away face first. Have you? Trinidad made a fucking habit out of it.
I can see De La Hoya going through the entire weight class. But Ricky goes, Chavez in a tournament?
No, at 47.
Yeah, no, you can't.
40 was as high as Chavez went, really.
Thank you, Pittsburgh. He goes, you and Gotti, two all-time fans, favorites.
And somebody said, sad that Obakar had to be in that era. And that's your third guy. We were just talking about that whole triangle. In that welterweight division, you had those top guys, and you had Obakar right at the bottom of that pyramid. Obakar was a solid welterweight that was good.
Corte was there too, though.
And but you had those guys, that second level.
That was Mikey Bang with Lipinets and Broner.
Yes, bigger guys.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? And I know people shit on sparring. I know they do. But I have seen Mikey in person spar with guys that were huge. And I know sparring's not the same as fighting, so let's not even get into that. But I'm saying you can still see how a person performs. And when he's hurting guys like Maidana, and he's hurting guys like Brandon Rios, who can take a punch. He's hurting these guys at featherweight. You got to carry some power. You have sparring partners now talking about how hard he hits. And opponents saying how hard he hits.
This James says, what do you think about Aegis
Kavaluskas, good fighter, really good. He's been in camp with Mikey right now, getting ready for Arrow. I think is really good.
Nick says De La Hoya beats all from today.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's hard because he was just so tall
and hit hard with either hand.
Yeah, 47. It was hard seeing anybody beat him. I mean, you talk about Trinidad being great, and we seen what De La Hoya did to Trinidad.
And Trinidad got the decision, but let's be honest, De La Hoya beat the shit out of him.
I mean, if anybody to this day thinks Trinidad really won that fight, it's horrible.
Philip says styles make fights. You never know who wins and why until after. Yeah, we understand that. We're talking about how that's why it's called fantasy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like when you have a fantasy about banging a woman. You know you might be done in 15 seconds, but in your fantasy, you're going all night. Yeah. It's a fantasy. It's not true.
Or it's a great 15 seconds.
It's a great 15 seconds. Yeah. I don't know if Trinidad...
As figures we get Justin fucking chirping.
Now, I don't know if Trinidad was a quicker starter than Crawford. It took Trinidad a few rounds to get started himself, you know. Okay. But I can tell you what, De La Hoya was a quick starter. He closed the show on you quick.
Oh, man. We got another good one from... Hold on, let me get... Okay, Kevin from Chicago says... They have Jesse Hart ahead of Caleb Plant on BoxRec website. What's up with that?
I don't know. I don't see why that would be. But it's political. You know what I mean? It's a lot of times it's who you're connected with, who your manager is. It's so much involved with that. If it's not the ring, I pretty much, if it's not the ring ratings, it's all over the place because it could have KO ratings could have Caleb Plant 2 ahead of Jesse Hart. Just depends. Yeah. Donovan said, do you think a 3-man commentating cruise is a clusterfuck on broadcast? I just want Kriegel to go home. I don't think so. I think HBO done well with 3-man or 4-man. It depends how the chemistry. You know what I mean? I think DAZN has some shitty commenting teams, but
I thought Jesse Vargas did really good last night.
Jesse Vargas is built for that. I think that's a career for him. He's a smart guy. But then you have guys like, I'm gonna be honest, Kelly, Sugar Ray Leonard is shit as a commentator. And Ray Mancini is shit as a commentator. I know. I'm saying it, not you. Yeah. But I'm saying he's not allowed to no more. He made peace.
Okay. Damon got another good one, but Nick says I could see Corte beating Danny Garcia.
Oh yeah. I think he'd beat Danny.
I think a knockout. I see it a good fight until a knockout happens.
Esteban says Yori Boy Campos was the third guy. No, I don't know Esteban. Yori Boy Campos anytime he ever really stepped up, he was beat. I mean, Trinidad broke his jaw. Then Vargas came along. Fernando came along, broke his jaw. I mean, anytime he stepped up, he was a powerful guy. But his record was built in Mexico. He was 55-0 in Mexico.
He fought Billy Lau.
Did he stop Billy Lau?
No.
Billy Lau was a tough guy.
Okay, he was. Damon goes, what? We forgot about this. Damon says, what about Khan, an attorney? Khan gives issues, man. We fucking forgot about that.
But that wasn't the tournament they had. They didn't enter Khan in the tournament. We couldn't even answer because they already had their 4 picked out.
Yeah.
Now maybe pull Porter out and put Khan in. We'll see. But really, do you think...
I see it being hard. If Khan don't get knocked out, I see a tough fight for everybody.
Yeah, but De La Hoya and Khan, he would catch Khan.
Yeah.
Trinidad would have more problems with him, but I don't know, man.
Because you got to go, Khan could catch. Well, let's go with Trinidad. Trinidad's whiskers weren't the best. I think Khan would stand a good chance.
But the thing was, his whiskers weren't good, but he always got up. Trinidad, other than Bernard Hopkins, he got up. He'd get up and fuck you up as soon as he dropped you.
Max Kellerman, Kevin from Chicago. Max Kellerman is a communist. How did he get his job in boxing? Because he's good.
He's good at what he does. He understands the sport and he speaks well. Well, Joe Goosen broke it down when we were in LA. You need to have 3 and the chemistry. 1 career announcer, 1 expert that sets up the commentary, and for the 3rd announcer to hit it out of the park. Just as Goosen thinks eventually him and Lennox will build the camaraderie. And I think so too. I think Joe Goosen and Lennox Lewis are a really good team together. I think Joe Lewis is a great commentator.
Goosen's phenomenal. I'm not saying it because I'm buddies with him, but I think Lennox needs some work too.
Yeah, but Lennox has been on the mic for a while, but I think Joe Goosen just has an innate knowledge of boxing that most people don't, from both sides. You know what I mean? As a trainer, as a promoter, as a manager, he's done all those things. I'm
not going to repeat what Ohio said. He said, you see that?
What's it say? Ohio, I'm going to keep Boom Boom name out your mouth. I'll say whatever I want about Boom Boom, Marcus.
Laser Fat Cat Chubby Kelly, would you come back to boxing at a catch weight of 199? Four against
that's a pound once you were coming back from.
Tension for $9 million like Floyd.
Why would you fight Tension? He's 130.
Listen, yes, I will come back at a catch weight of 199 against Tension for $9 million. Would you go easy on him, or will you take his head off? And I will go there and take his head off.
Fuck yeah.
And I'd probably give him $1 million of that for coming up to 199.
Jeff,
and
Sergio says one thing with Tito: if you knock down, he would get up and open a can of whoops, and that's true. And I just said that. Anytime that Trinidad got knocked down, he got up and he'd ruin your night. And when he got up, and that was like. Do you remember like when you wrestle with your dad and you get a good move on him and drop him? You knew you were fucked when he got up on his feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I just hit the old man. That's what it was like, Trinidad. Kellerman is good and does speak well, but sometimes he seems to follow a script. Well, Jeff, they all follow a script because they have to do what the networks tell them to do. The only guy that doesn't really follow a script is Paulie Malignaggi. He don't give a shit. I think he's one of the best commentators too. Paulie is a great commentator.
Yeah, he is. He's phenomenal. I used to like Merchant. Emilio goes, do you guys know if Victor Ortiz is fighting again soon? He was scheduled to fight John Molina, but the fight didn't happen.
It's because he did
a lot of shit.
He got caught up on the raping charges.
Kevin from Chicago says that pretty much that Max Kellerman is horrendous, and his commentary for Kovalev Alvarez was bully. He's brought in drama and storylines.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you guys never heard Jim Lampley? Jim Lampley brought in drama and storylines. He would bring in a long storyline, and then he would cry, and everybody soaked that shit up.
Guy from Showtime does too.
Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And that's.
I don't think it's fair for somebody, especially like a guy like Lampley, to be able to do that. And I love Lampley, but some of his background. But
yeah, Kevin Kellerman's brother was, and he was killed by a Butler, the other fighter. I remember that. Jimmy says, "I'll fight Tension." Jimmy's gonna fight Tension now.
Jimmy Guerrero?
Yeah, Tension's a lot taller than Jimmy.
Mario Barrios versus Zamora was fun fight. Got called early, in my opinion. Zamora was still in the fight. The rough call wasn't terrible, but it was early. Nah, Joey, I'm sorry, dude. I think it was a perfect stoppage. He took a beating for over a minute, like punches landing on him.
I thought Mario Barrios looked like shit.
But I'm talking about the stoppage.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a decent stoppage. But
and then that last one, after getting hit for over a minute, his legs were out. He went back against the ropes. I mean, his legs literally were out from underneath him.
Let me tell you what I think. And what I looked at Mario, and he's a good fighter. I'm not saying anything about him. I just think he had a bad night. He got the win, yes, and I know that counts for a lot. But his punches were wide. He didn't make his punches long. He didn't move his head well. He got hit a lot. He was hit a lot more than you would expect. Yeah. I'm going to say it right now. Teofimo Lopez and Virgil Ortiz would beat the shit out of Mario Barrios.
I have to agree with
They would beat him.
I would.
The levels of talent is so well known. I think did you hear Joel Diaz Jr. got knocked out tonight too?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he got knocked out too. Oscar's left hook and Trinidad's left hook, I think, catches Khan eventually. Mosley versus Khan would be fun to watch. I think Mosley hit just as hard as Trinidad and De La Hoya. Mosley, people will tell you, too, if you go into the business and you ask a welterweight at that time who was the hardest puncher, they will all tell you Shane Mosley was the hardest puncher in the welterweight division. Mosley could crack. And I think Khan would have a nightmare time with a guy like Mosley, who might have been just as fast.
Lazy Fast says, I enjoyed Tim Bradley and Ward combo. They should... 2 fighters in commentary and 1 company man instead of 2 company men and 1 fighter.
I can't argue with that.
Yes. Kevin, spot on at Pittsburgh. Max Kellerman, part of the chosen tribe. But I don't understand what they're keeping. Paulie Malignaggi is the best boxing commentator in the game.
I agree. But the thing is, that's part of why when they did Paulie's contract and when they asked him to be on Showtime, Paul, at the time, I don't think Paulie's with Fox now, I believe, right? Paulie moved on. He's with somebody else.
Is
now.
he?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he was on Showtime last night.
Okay, yeah, he's on Showtime still. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is this. With Paulie, in his contract, he stated he wanted to be able to say what he wanted to say, good or bad. And he does. And I respect that. Because he is one of the very few impartial guys out there. But you're going to get commentators for that network they're partial to that network because that's who pays them. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what. Any one of you guys that work for, Wells Fargo, are you going to go to your customers and say Bank of America is better? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to go with, well, you're going to say Wells Fargo, even if you believe in your head that they're shit.
That's obvious. Damon, Ward is a great commentary. Kelly Ward and B-Hop would be an awesome 3 hours of boxing commentary.
I think Kelly would be a great commentator. I've said that before.
Damon, you're a sweetheart.
Now, Sergio said, Kelly, James, please tell me you guys have info where the uncanny Roy Jones Jr. will go to commentate. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. I don't like his own. Yeah, I don't like Roy Jones as a commentator. I'm going to tell you why. Because Roy Jones can't go 2 minutes without saying I, me, or bring up his own career. His ego don't allow him to take a step out of himself and talk about another fighter without comparing that fighter to him. You know? Yeah.
I think, but Roy Jones is starting his own thing, I believe.
Yes, he is.
From what I heard. He's starting his own commentary.
But I don't know. Do you agree with that or what? I think Roy Jones' ego won't allow him to be the best commentator he could be because he can't get out of his own skin.
If he could relate it to something that's going on in the fight for a commentator who's not involved, who never fought in a sport or pro fight, and don't know what's going on, I think he could do that.
But if he says, one of the commentators say, let's say, look, they say, oh, Crawford has a great left hook. And he goes, well, not like my left hook, Larry, you know what I mean? Not like my left hook. Well, no, obviously.
I never heard him say it, but if he did.
I'm using an example, but he does shit like that. And he doesn't. And I agree, Sergio. I think Leonard is awful. And that goes to show you, just because you're a great boxer, don't mean you can translate it into a speaking career or as a trainer. You can't do it. And just like all guys that can box can't be great trainers, and all guys that box can't be great commentators. So it goes. No,
because you're right. I mean, they know what they're talking about more than anybody, but they don't know how to
break it down
or put it into from the head to the mouth.
Yes.
They don't know how to translate.
And then there's guys that's never boxed a day in their life that can translate that shit out, but then they talk like assholes because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Exactly. So it's going to be a no-win.
Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz would beat Mario Barrios easy. Barrios is not ready.
I think absolutely right. I think Teofimo would too. And Mario, you know what? He might have had a bad night, but the thing is, he looked to me. He looked like a little Zurdo. He fought like Zurdo Ramirez. And I'm not saying Zurdo's bad. I'm just saying I see a lot of flaws and things that you need to work on. Gabriel Flores tonight was more about his appearance and kissing his biceps than how shitty he looked in the ring tonight.
Yeah. Lazy Fast said, I like Roy Jones reading fighters. He sees things outside of boxing and what's going on in a fighter's mind.
That's why they're there. Yeah. That's their job. That's their job that guys like Mauro Ranallo and Jim Lampley can't do. You have a guy like Paulie, and you have a guy like, Roy Jones that can do that.
I got two good ones
here.
Damon, Bradley is the worst commentator ever hired. I like Bradley, man, but you might be onto something.
You know who I do like, though? I like Andre Ward as a commentator.
Oh, Ward's fantastic.
I like Andre Ward waking up Stephen A. Smith like this.
Yeah. James says, I like Leonard because he doesn't say too much. I think Leonard does a good job. I like listening to him. It'd be hard for me not to.
Yeah.
The guy's seen everything. Julian goes, Mr. Pavlik, Max Kellerman versus Mr. Dominguez in the ring. How do you think that would go down? Shit? Julian Slowwater Banks. Well, Max is Max is from the streets. I don't know if you guys seen his rap video, but he is from the streets.
That's the dumbest fucking question I've ever heard.
But I gotta go. I would have to take James Dominguez in that due to the fact that he does have a big background in the amateur boxing, and he's been to nationals and he's seen international competition. Outside the ring, I don't know though. I think Max with the Puma gear and Adidas gear.
Yeah, it's true. Max in that from the mean streets of fucking Vermont. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know why people think. Oh, I'm going to put Max Kellerman against James to see what happens. They would have to put a muzzle on me so I didn't kiss him in the mouth after I fucked him. Do you know what I mean? I hate ignorant shit like that. The motherfucker talking should get in the ring with me then.
Damon says, this is a really good chat. I've never messed with it. Guys need to get on YouTube. That's for sure, Damon. Emilio X, can you guys give me some tips on footwork? I'm an amateur that fight and lives in Norway. The footwork my trainers teaches.
Who asked that?
Emilio X.
It's hard to say. We'd have to show you. We do you know what? If you go to the old episodes, Technique Tuesday has some footwork stuff that we've done. Go to our old episodes and go to our Technique Tuesdays, and we break footwork down. I mean, the best thing you can do is go to YouTube and start watching footwork videos. I know we did a bunch of them, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. and you should be able to find them on the punchline.live site. Go to archives, and they're broken down. It'll tell you. Technique Tuesday.
Yes,
it'll say Technique Tuesday. Go to that, and there's a lot actually. Almost every Technique Tuesday, we've done something with the footwork.
Yeah, and we have, because it's
important.
important.
You have to find a good trainer. You gotta, learning good footwork is trial and error. Is unfortunately, you're gonna get popped in the face trying to figure it out. But it's a process, and you got to pay attention to it.
Well, you know what? And Sergio said, James, that was beyond class, Kellerman. No, at least put some respect on my name and say James versus washed up Sugar Ray Leonard. Then I would say, you know what?
Joey just said he was joking, dude. He goes, Mr. Dominguez, I was just joking. I see some questions on Max Kellerman in the chat. I know Max would win. Just kidding.
No, mamas. No, but at least put some respect. Say, let me tell you why. If you would have said have me fight like a 60-year-old Sugar Ray Leonard, I would have been like, you know what? I'd say, okay, you know what? Maybe a 60-year-old Sugar Ray Leonard beat my ass.
That'd be like me getting mad when they said that I fight Butterbean.
No, that's different, Kelly. Butterbean had a fight career.
I knew it was a joke.
Butterbean had a fight career.
So did Max.
That's okay. No, he did have a fight career.
And he had a rap career.
He had a rap career. He could beat me in a freestyle any day.
But Max dropping LPs.
I'm going to tell you what.
And left hooks.
That's like me saying, you know what? I'm going to get Roy in here because he lifted weights to fight you.
But Roy ain't dropping LPs either. All right?
Oh, yeah. Michael Nunn did get out of prison. Donovan, after 15 years, he got out for good behavior. He's also 24 for selling QPs.
David wants to know how your MMA weekend went.
It went interesting. We didn't do as well as we thought we were going to do. I went 1-2. Well, they went 1-2. I just wrapped hands and worked cuts. But it pays the bills. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. I'm going to say it. I'm probably never work on the network ever again. Don't ever work with female fighters. Don't fucking work with them, because let me tell you why. No, I'm gonna tell you, it's the truth. The men in their fucking camp think those are their women. You know what I mean? Even if they're not. Like, they argue with you. Do you think you should be using that much tape? Do you think you should be, whoa. And I'm like, it's up to you and it's not up to me. It's up to the commission what I use for their hands. Well, how do you know? Because I read the commission requirements while I was on the airplane. And I knew what they needed. And they're so worried that you're going to take $1 out of their hands, or you're going to, you know what I mean? She gave me some shirts. They wanted the shirts back after the fight. They were to borrow. Really? You want these shirts back? Dude, I don't want the Bellator shirt. I promise you, I don't want it. Do you mind if we pay you in a traveler's check? No, pay me in cash.
Hey, traveler's checks get anywhere, man.
I know, but that's not what they were doing. You know what they were doing? They get in Bellator, they get their meal money and their travel pay and per diem in a traveler's check. They were trying to pay me out of saved per diem. Out of their saved per diem, they just said, we're not going to eat, so we're going to save per diem for the week or two, and we're going to pay you with that, and we're going to save our money. I'm like, no, you're going to pay me in cash.
Swarm Fight Team says, another great show. Hector goes, Machado got worked by a journeyman. That was disappointing. Yeah, but Hector, that kind of takes away, though, you know, what's his name? Why am I forgetting the fucking names? It says, who fought Machado?
Cancio.
Cancio, he came in, man. He put up a hell of a fight.
He did.
And so saying journeyman, he came back. I mean, he didn't have a bad career before he retired. He came back, he worked his ass off, and I really got to tip my hat to him. And it was disappointing because Machado, I mean, you're expecting he's a prospect or a good fighter, undefeated, and he got beat like that. And not only did he get beat, but he pretty much quit. But I just don't, personally, I don't want to take the credit away from Cancio, but...
Josh Pat said, James destroyed Dominguez. Hell yeah. Thanks, Josh. Josh is my homie. I don't care what he says. He is my homie. He has my back.
Well, Joanne goes, Mr. Palick, you or Larry Merchant when he was 50 years younger, he might kick your ass. You know what, Joanne? I'm going to say this. He might have. Larry Merchant looked like he was a feisty motherfucker 50 years ago.
He was still 4'5", Kelly.
Yeah, he beat my kneecaps. I don't know. That'd be a good one, Joanne.
You know what, though? The older Larry Merchant got, the more reckless he got with his mouth because he knew he wasn't going to get fucked up.
He's cool, man.
No, he might be cool. But you know what? 30 years, if you would have talked that shit to Floyd 30 years early, Floyd would have knocked his ass out in that ring. You know that. Only thing that saved Larry Merchant, he was 70 years old that night.
I have to disagree with you.
I think
I think Larry Merchant knows something that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, a good lawyer to sue the shit out of him for hitting him.
No, I just think he's a badass.
I don't think he's a badass.
I believe he has some special forces training.
Yeah. You mean special education training? Watch Orlando Canada's fights and dance. You know what, Kevin? I'm a big fan of Orlando. Orlando Canizales is actually a buddy of mine, isn't he? Any buddy of yours? He watches the show. I think Orlando Canizales was Lomachenko before Lomachenko.
Oh, he was crazy, man, with his
and that power.
A little reckless sometimes doing it, but Lomachenko gets a little reckless doing it.
He got the Hall of Fame jacket though on the ring. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the guy can fight.
And he goes, man, guys don't remember. Canzio gave Jojo Diaz hell. Made Jojo fight on the back foot.
Yes,
yeah, he did.
And he did. I agree. And I don't have no problem with hey, what's up, Ryan?
Oh.
I have no problem with fucking
Damon goes, Bob Barker versus Larry Merchant.
Bob Barker. I've seen Bob Barker throw some shots.
Bob Barker fucked the damn sandwich.
Easily, bitch.
I still got to roll with Larry Merchant because he literally got in Floyd Mayweather's face and told him, let's fucking throw down right now. That's pretty much what he was saying.
Yeah, because he knew Floyd wasn't going to do it. He knew he would have got sued and kicked. He would have got sued and he would have been banned.
Bob Barker never got in the ring and called Ken Shamrock.
Okay, I got one
now.
for you right now. Before we get off the rails here, Larry Merchant versus Robert De Niro from Cape Fear. I got you now, bitch.
Larry Merchant.
What?
All day long.
Do you really believe that?
Told you.
Dude, Robert De Niro from Cape Fear would have bit your cheek. He bit that chick's cheek off. He goes, I got you now,
But he would not
bitch.
bite Larry Merchant's cheek off.
He would have bit his cheek off too.
Nope. And even if he did, Larry Merchant would have came back harder.
Sir, just can we pay you wit checks? Hell yeah. Philip says, make it a good commentator is about your voice and how you sound coming across the air. Your knowledge of boxing, how you can cover the fight and excite the audience while showing common sense and compassion while being very classy at the same time. Very classy is very important.
Sergio Omega got it. He goes, remember, he manhandled that guy that tried to interrupt his interview with Zaragoza.
A person,
very true.
Yes, but that's because he knew he could. I bet you he didn't put his hands on somebody like
Even
Mayor.
Pittsburgh, he goes, laugh my ass off. He goes, Bob Barker is bringing a long reach, but I still have Merchant. How could you not?
Okay, I got one for you. Let me tell you this. Why didn't Larry Merchant ever put his hands on a crazy motherfucker like Mayorga?
Because Larry Merchant knows that he could hurt somebody with his hands.
Larry Merchant helped Mayorga smoke cigarettes in the ring. He was kissing his ass.
Larry Merchant, the only reason why he got out of character because he was so mad at Mayweather.
Yeah.
But he just knows he's a confident old guy that could kill a bear with his bare hands.
Whatever happened to Judah when he grabbed Nady by the neck? He was suspended for 2 years and fined $100,000 for putting his hand on Nady.
Yes. Did you ever see Judah grab Larry Merchant by the neck?
He never had it. But do you think he wouldn't?
No.
Oh, he would have fucked.
He knows.
Up, man. How come PBC doesn't build a fighter's fan base in their hometown like other promotional companies? Herd never fights in DC. Charlo don't fight in Texas. They just fought in Texas. Not too long. Tank doesn't fight in Maryland. Yeah, Jose Ramirez fight in front of Northern Cali on Sunday. Well, Donovan, you got to remember this. In the Charlos, I mean, I understand Texas, but there's not a big fight community in Maryland like that to sell Tank. Mm-hmm. And you got to remember, PBC, those companies are beholden to another corporation, and they're contracted in certain areas. Like you'll see most of the top ranked fights are in Madison Square Garden. For the most part. I mean, you don't see PBC, and PBC usually in Brooklyn and certain places, they're going to fight in those areas, you know?
Yeah. The Top Rank sometimes will go out west.
Yeah.
But that's all changed. I mean, when I was younger coming up, they had fights in Oklahoma. Where else? They had Kansas City. They had them in California, Nevada, Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
Top Rank was all over the place, but times are changing, and everybody has to adapt, and I'm sure that's why Top Rank brings a lot of different people in. I mean, they always got somebody new on staff. So
I'll tell you one. Okay, let's get real. Amy Hayes versus Vanna White. Is it Amy Hayes then or anorexic Amy Hayes now? You tell me which one. Oh yeah, but is it Vanna prior to fucking Pat Sajak or after fucking Pat Sajak? Good point. Because she went a little crazy after that.
Damon goes, was Larry Merchant there when a skydiver into the ring at the bow match? I believe he was there, and I believe he was the first one to call it because he was a paratrooper, and he's seen all the action in World War II.
Larry Merchant once killed 2 rocks with 1 bird, Ruben says.
Yeah. He once shot a Cyclops between the eyes.
Jim Gray versus Broner. You know, Jim Gray's another one that's reckless too.
Yeah,
He's always pushing people and.
But Larry Merchant can believe his butter.
Now we gotta have Larry Merchant on the show.
Larry Merchant's hard to get. I'll show you the prima donna. I've seen how he acts.
Come on, we're calling him the
I don't know. I think you know what. Hey, before we a serious note,
James
guys.
talking all this shit. I'm not having him on the show. I'm not getting involved in that.
I'll fucking fight Larry Merchant. I don't give a fuck. No. Before serious note, guys, I want to take time out. I haven't got a chance to do that. I want to send a shout out to Mia St. John and Shannon Torres. Mia St. John lost her husband about a week ago.
Yeah.
In a tragic death. Mia is a friend of mine, and I've known her for quite a few years, and I just wanted to send out positive vibes and prayers out to Mia and her family. You know, she lost her husband or ex-husband Christopher. You know, and I just wanted to send a shout out, and also Shannon Torres, who's close with the family. They're going through a hard time right now, and I wanted to express our condolences on the punchline for what a loss that is.
It is, and just wish her all the best. It's a horrible thing that she's going through. And
yes, and you know she's had a rough time over the past couple of years, and I just want her to know that we're thinking about her in her time of need, and anything that Shannon or Mia or anybody needs, let us know.
The King, Tank KO's Loma easy. I don't see how you get that.
I don't even think that's who said that.
The King 1826.
I don't know.
The King, I've seen a lot. I'm not knocking you for your opinion, homie. You're allowed to have that, but just a lot of people are on the hate train with Loma, just like they hop on the hate train with Mikey Garcia, and it is what it is. Sham, Howard Letterman versus Chocolatito.
Harold Letterman versus Chocolatito.
Howard.
Chocolatito.
Yeah, I mean Letterman now that's different, but now if it was Larry Merchant versus Chocolatito, I think we have we got a fight to the finish on that one.
Punchline. I remember a fighter charging after Jay Nady after a club show in Fallon, Nevada, and
Jay
Roger.
Nady's a big dude.
Yeah, he's like 6'5". Roger Romo asked Nady after fight, "Did he try to do a Zab Judah to you?"
He did a couple of my fights.
Yeah, all right, Jimmy.
Goes Kelly. Did Bernard at light heavy punch harder than Jermaine Taylor and anyone you faced at 160? No. It's hard to explain unless you're in there. Bernard, Edison Miranda hit harder. Jermaine had more pop. With Bernard at light heavy, it was just a difference with locking up, grabbing, holding,
and the strength.
And some of the punches hitting the arms was heavier. But as far as hurting and snap on it, no. I would have to say Jermaine and Edison Miranda. But
would you say Sergio Martinez is the sharpest puncher? His punches were sharp, not hard, just sharp, like a piercing,
like
that
quick.
Piercing cutting type.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you feel that. Remember, when you get hit, you feel that sting.
Well, that's when he cut me.
You feel the tingles after that sharp punch.
Mm-hmm. Mayweather will. Yep. No, that's why he cut me.
Nate, Nady's a pilot. Nady flies his own airplanes to the fights.
Pretty streets.
That's pretty streets. What's up, Slavin? Benjamin. What's up, champs? You still have them guns? Milton said.
James Burrell says, "Mr. Bean mollywops."
What?
Larry Merchant. James, you're reaching now. I mean, we know how badass Larry Merchant is. Mayweather won't make that fight. He'll keep Tank away from Loma. I think I seen something on one of the boxing things where it seemed like he already was trying to keep Tank away from Lomachenko.
You know what? I don't. Kelly's more diplomatic than I am, but I don't see any way that Tank can beat Lomachenko right now. Maybe in a year or two, maybe a couple years from now, yeah. But right now, Lomachenko would beat him easily.
And Lomachenko will have a good excuse at that point. He'll be 34, almost 35.
Yeah, but right now, let's be. What have we? I know Tank's good, but we haven't seen Tank go the long distance against a guy who can box. This is the same conversation people had against Rigondeaux just beating Lomachenko. He was supposed to be the greatest thing in the world, and Lomachenko ate his ass up.
Yep. Guys, we only got 6 more minutes, so we're going to try to get to them. I'm having fun with this. Daniel Martinez says, Bronco McCart versus Larry Merchant. Damon, I just think now that we're just getting excited with this and we're just throwing anybody's name out there to attach it to Larry Merchant. Listen, 50 years ago, Bronco McCart don't stand a chance. That's why Bronco's sitting at home, and I'm sitting here doing a
Yeah.
podcast, and Larry Merchant was out there on HBO commentating at 90 years old.
Yeah.
Guy's a legend.
Benjamin Renteria says Canelo, Jacobs, and Nikao. I believe so. I think Canelo's going to stop Jacobs. What do you think, Kelly?
Again, that's one of the fights. If Danny Jacob comes to fight, I see it being a really good fight for however long it lasts.
I don't see that fight going past 5 rounds.
But right now, because I think Danny Jacobs is in such a habit of fighting the way he does, I do see Canelo possibly stopping him, and if not, just totally dominating a 12-round decision.
Yeah. Condolences to me and his girl's family. And I agree, Delilah. And, it's a sad time. And I just wanted to make sure that we were thinking about her as well. Tank fans are a bit delusional. He beat Hugo Ruiz, not Alexa Trigueiro. And I agree.
Join has a good one. Mr. Pavlik, Taylor versus Miranda in 2008, obviously after they both took L's against you. Who wins and why did that never happen? It should have. That's a hell of a question. I don't know if they both were trying to go after the beatings they took. Not bragging. I'm not pulling a Roy Jones, just being honest. But they took brutal KOs, losses, and I think even in 2018, they should have kind of had a little break away from that. I take Jermaine Taylor in that fight. I just think Jermaine Taylor was a very sharp boxer, and yeah, I would favor Taylor, but then again, anything can happen. Yeah. Miranda hit so hard, as we all know, that he could have changed the fight.
Slavin said Loma, I think, would school Gervonta now, and I think so too. And yeah, we've made comments about we already brought about Michael Nunn being released, and I think it's great. He served his time, and I'm just happy that he assimilates back into life. I don't agree with what he did, but hey, that's life, and sometimes people make mistakes, and we move on. And I wish Michael Nunn the best. I've met him. I've known him back in the day when he was training with Joe Goosen, and he's always been a nice guy. And I have.
If there was anybody else, nobody would even know.
No. Larry had more character than all of Showtime's commentators. I don't agree with that. I think Paulie Malignaggi is the best commentator Showtime's ever had.
Yeah. Damon goes, great show, guys. The Sunday time on YouTube is fun as hell. Good stuff. My condolences to Mia St. John. Thank you, Damon. Thank you. And you're our dude. Good one here. Aldo Lazo goes, sir.
Ruben. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Aldo Lazo goes, sir. Kelly Pike, do you think Triple G should retire if he doesn't land another Canelo fight? No, I don't think he should even look for the Canelo fight. I think a third fight is just horrible for both of them, especially Canelo because he's younger. And I think we don't know how much those two fights with Triple G right now took out of Canelo.
Or both.
Or both. I think Triple G is at the end of his career. I think Triple G could go out and fight a couple other fairly big names and get the victory and have a well-deserved great career. Yeah. And let Canelo go on and do his thing. Those fights with two guys like that at that weight class, those fights take a wear on the body, and we don't know how much damage it has done to each fighter. So I would like to see Triple G move on and do something else.
Ruben Rivera says, Jacobs did great against Triple G. This has a very good chance of going the distance considering Triple G power and ability to cut off the ring. Ruben, I can see where you're coming from, but I think styles make fights. And I think Canelo is that body work and the volume and the defense is way too much for Jacobs in this one. And see, Jacobs is probably the most skilled middleweight. But the thing that Jacobs does is he gets lazy. He falls into this trap where he gets comfortable. And a lot of these guys did it. You had guys like Andre Ward. They would do it. They were so talented and so good, they would just kind of cruise.
Yeah, but they did it. I mean, I can't even really compare how Danny Jacobs does it for an entire fight.
He just takes time off.
Yeah, he'll have a spurt of a round where he looks phenomenal, and then he'll take the rest of the round off, let the person come back into it, and then he'll go another 4 rounds that he loses and tries to come back and do it. I think like Andre Ward, they did it because they got lazy and they got too overconfident. But as soon as they got hit with something crazy, they went right back to whooping ass.
My thing is this. Canelo is getting better and better. And if people are going to argue that, Canelo hasn't plateaued yet. He's 27 years old and he's getting better and better every fight. And I'm not even counting this fight against the British guy, but he's adding more to his game. He's evolving, kind of like since Floyd, he's evolved so much, and I think he's getting stronger and better. And I think a lot of things that Canelo can do The other people don't. Canelo has a huge game plan, and he can so many different styles he adds. And I think this is an easier fight than Triple G. And
I like to see
Jacobs.
Canelo. I think Canelo. I like to see him stay at middleweight. I think there's a lot he could do. Clear out that division. Clear out the Billy Joe Saunders and guys like that. Danny Jacobs, and conquer that. Then maybe try to go up to super middleweight.
David said, "Ooh, y'all are lame over on this side." I don't know. We're getting lame. Kevin, my condolences to Mia and her family. Kelly, did you have any desire to fight outside the U.S., even if it was only one fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is? You could have fought in Germany or England. You would have left your title there no matter what.
I wouldn't have fought in Germany. No, I would have liked to fight in the UK though.
You would have knocked somebody out and they would have disqualified you and took your title.
I think I would have. I think I still would have fared a fairly good chance in the UK.
Yeah, but in the UK, but you wouldn't have in Germany.
No,
you would have knocked out Abraham, and they would have took your title from you.
The only way I would have got a decision in Germany is if he was leaving I hate to say it, but on a stretcher.
No,
maybe
you
not
wouldn't
even
have. They would have disqualified you.
I don't want to say body bag. Hey, Joey Slowwater Banks has one for you, which involves me. It was Mr. Dominguez. Can you talk Willie Nelson and Jack Lowe in total honesty? I feel that was when Mr. Pavlik and Jack Lowe had bad blood.
Who said that?
Joey. I want to know what you think about that.
I don't know Jack that well to comment on Jack. From any time I've ever talked to Jack Lowe or met him, he's been nothing but classy with me, and he's been friendly. Willie Nelson, he's a fringe contender. He does his thing in the ring, and I respect that. But I don't have anything negative to say about Jack Lowe. I mean, Jack Lowe, to me, took Kelly to where he was at that level, and I can't. I'm sure there were things between him and Kelly that only they know that I'm not privy to. And I'm speaking the truth. I don't have no reason to say. Do I think Kelly? I think Kelly made a better choice with Robert Garcia, and I'm not saying that because I'm close with the Garcias. I'm just saying I think Kelly's game evolved and came to a hole with Robert Garcia. He might disagree, but I think Jack was responsible for making Kelly who he was from a child to way past the world championship. So I have nothing but respect for Jack Lowe. I
gotta, and I could put 2 cents on it. Jack Lowe getting Willie Nelson. Why wouldn't he, though? As a trainer, you're just not trying to hold on to one world champion. You want to build a stable, and you want other guys in that stable to be world champions and contenders, and it is a money thing. Nobody's, like we said earlier, nobody's in the sport of boxing for fucking freebies and charity work. Yeah, I'll do it for nothing.
UNICEF.
Man. Yeah, UNICEF. Have a good one.
I can picture him with Justin chewing the gum. Yeah. Remember like this? Well, when UNICEF gets involved with boxing, I'll let you know.
Yeah, but no. So I mean, Jack doing that with getting guys like Willie Nelson and Danny, whatever. But anyways, I think getting guys like that and training people, Danny Williams and other guys, that was his choice. I mean, he had a world champion and he got to that level, and then he wanted to create a stable and make money, which any trainer would want to do, just like what Robert Garcia is doing now with his stable is fucking huge. Yeah. And there was nothing wrong with it. But
Ruben says Canelo's gotten better in every goddamn fight. This motherfucker's going to finish his career in the heavyweight division. I don't know, but I think he has, and I don't think he's reached his potential. Am I a huge Canelo fan? I'm not a huge Canelo fan. I'll be the first to tell you Canelo is not my favorite fighter. But we got to be honest. I mean, Canelo is really good. Ann Wolf said it best. Ann Wolf, when they were getting ready to fight Kirkland, she told Kirkland, don't take that fight. That little redhead motherfucker can fight. Mm-hmm. Ann Wolf said it best. There's something here. I want to reach out and thank Top Rank and SIBO for always taking care of us. The Punchline's chief editor was going to the fight tonight in Fresno, and the snow kept him in from Tahoe. And he had to write an email and explain that he couldn't make it and apologize. I just want to thank SIBO and Hector Torres and all the people and Lee Samuels for being understanding. I mean, it's these credentials, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but those seats are about $1,000 a piece. If you were to pay for them the way as close you are to the ring in these big fights, and we're getting these for free, to do what we do. And I just want to reach out and say, hey, thank you to SIBO and Hector and Lee and everybody else and Bob and everybody else, because they do hook us up and they do take care of us.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always appreciative. Kelly, did Robert Garcia teach you new tricks compared to your last coach? Is there always something new to learn in boxing, even after 20 years? You can never stop learning in the sport. And when you think you know everything,
Yeah.
you don't.
You're an idiot if you think you know everything.
Yeah, so that's why some of the best people in the sport are ones that keep both of their ears open and their brain open.
Kept their nose to the groundstone, right?
Yep. Take the knowledge.
Let me ask you this, Kelly. What did Robert teach you that made you different? Because I didn't ask you that.
Robert straight up told me, and this is what I liked about it. Robert straight up, when I went there, he goes, "Look, too late in the game. I'm not trying to make you a new fighter. I'm going to take what you do with what you do, and the skills that you got, and I'm going to fine tune them."
Yeah.
And that's
pretty
much what it was.
The one thing that I've always heard, and me always doing fighting in Oxnard, training in Oxnard myself, was I thought the mitt work was levels above. The combination punching was levels above other trainers, and it's not the mitt work, it's the combinations you throw. They were so unorthodox and so different. You don't throw those kind of combinations, and they become a habit to throw those things.
No, they're different.
You don't see that 1-4-3-2. You know what I mean? You don't see a 2-3-2.
Well, not only that, and they have you throw from different angles.
Yeah.
And
speed.
Yeah, the speed. I mean, this is totally different. But I'm going to get one more thing in. Mr. Pavlik, did you like Willie Nelson? I just felt at the time when Nelson was trying to make a name for himself, you and Lowe were not happy with one another. Am I correct on that? Me and Jack had a falling out, Julian, but Willie Nelson was working on a career. He was trying to be a world champion himself, and I don't think he gave a shit about what me and Jack were going through. And even Jack at the same time, Jack still had to eat. So that means Jack still had to do his job, and he got a prospect in there like Willie Nelson, and of course he was going to take him. And Willie Nelson is trying to become world champion, and Jack Lowe is trying to have another world champion. And Kelly Pavlik's a grown-ass man who was a former world champion, but Kelly's moving on to another chapter in his career. So I don't think anywhere, and I like Willie Nelson. I'm cool with him. I don't see him that much, but I have respect for him, and he's trying to do his own thing. I don't think it played in at all to what was going on. I was making a career move. Jack had to make a career move. It's the same as I did. I was given an ultimatum by Top Rank. And so I don't see anything wrong with it or anything that was bad about it. I think everybody was just doing their profession.
Nothing good lasts forever, you know? Ruben says, hey, Kelly, do you think Canelo's carpet matches the drapes?
Who said that?
Ruben. Cool. Do you think Canelo's carpet matches the drapes?
Why does he always ask that question?
He likes to know that.
Ruben likes to know about
people's drapes matching the carpet.
Yeah.
I would bet that Canelo's carpet matches the drapes.
Oh, definitely.
I've dated redhead chicks, and the carpet usually matches the drapes, but it's not usually a carpet. It's kind of like a little piece of it's like lint. It's like a little red lint. You know what I mean?
Ruben's fucked up. All right.
Why disrespect a great fighter commentator? Who disrespected a great fighter commentator? Philip's upset because I said I didn't like Sugar Ray Leonard as a commentator.
Yeah,
but if you want the truth, if you want our opinion, then don't ask the questions. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you, hey, this guy's a great fucking commentator and I think he's shit, because that's kind of you're in the wrong show. This is what people were talking about. They work by a script. You sound like they work by a script. Well, when we don't work by a script and we tell you what we think, you bitch about that. Yeah. Make up your mind. Pick a bitch, guys.
Hold on, let me get these two. Lazy, Fat, Chubby. All you're going to have a Tuesday show or a Sunday? All there is. We need our fix. Right now, we're doing Sundays. I think it's a perfect time for everybody to watch. There ain't much going on, and we want to be one of the first media outlets to get to you guys and talk to boxing, and instead of waiting all the way to Tuesday when everybody already tapped on it. And so Sunday is going to be where we're at right now.
I don't know. Philip's mad about somebody. I said something about not being a good commentator.
Well, Kevin says, Kelly, you've been skipping my comments.
Which one?
Kevin from Chicago. I'm sorry, buddy. Hold on, let me get to it. I thought Sergey Gervonta beat Daniel Jacobs last
I agree.
fight. He was more active, more aggressive. And that's going on, Kevin. That's going on what we were saying. Danny Jacobs could have done a lot better in that fight. Could have won that fight easily. Mm-hmm. He just...
Joe Press has stopped the honesty. No, and here's what I'm saying. We just heard that a lot of these shows, a lot of boxing shows, and even commentators, I'm not comparing myself to a commentator on the big networks because I'm not. I'll never be a commentator because I'm frankly not good enough to do that. But let's just be honest. They said they hate commentators and shows that work by a script, right?
Yeah.
And the minute we don't work by a script, they bitch about our opinions. It's an opinion. I'm an asshole with an opinion, just like everyone else has an opinion. You know what? If I don't think Ray Leonard's good or Larry Merchant's good or whatever the case may be, I'm sure there's 100,000 people that know more than I do that are going to disagree.
What did he say?
Oh, he got mad about Mancini. Well, you know what? If you're going to defend him, at least spell his name right, Philip. Ray Mancini, right? It's Mancini.
I didn't say anything about Mancini.
No, I did. He's bitching about me saying Mancini's not a good commentator. I don't think he's a good commentator.
Must be from Youngstown.
Well, yeah, he spells like he's from Youngstown.
Come on, man.
I don't give a fuck. No, you know
James will be driving home through Youngstown.
Look at Bobby. Bobby says jackass. Well, Bobby, you're not a Youngstown guy. You're more of an Austintown dude. I made him feel better about himself.
Yeah.
He's a Boardman guy, right?
Oh, he's a West Side guy. Got dark hair, blonde hair, dark roots.
I'm not shitting on Ray Mancini. Ray Mancini was a great champion. He was a great fighter. He was great for Youngstown. But what I'm saying is he's not, I don't think he's a great commentator. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He got the 4-year deal from Fox and good for him. Fuck it. Yes. Congratulations. Do I think there's other people that were better that would be better commentators like this guy? Hell yeah, I think Kelly would been a better commentator for Fox. No, let me tell you something about when I fight. Let me tell you something with the mob used to run my career. Fucking. Glenn said, Philip says, I can visit Youngstown. Well, come visit, Philip. Philip's going to come visit Youngstown. He's defending Ray Mancini. Do you think he's on?
I want to be on Facebook right now.
Right? It's a beautiful city. Love it. Love it. I love the snow. I love the snowstorm outside right now, don't you?
Sean says, Ray's a great guy. I was judging a card where he was doing a TVs. Well, absolutely. I got no problem with Ray.
I'll tell you what. I don't either. I'm just saying that. I don't commentating. But Darren says, Ramirez fight starting. What round you got Ramirez winning? Let me tell you something. If you guys don't know who Jose Cepeda is, he's not a pushover. Jose Cepeda 30-1, only lost that one fight because his shoulder got dislocated in a fight. Jose Cepeda was the biggest shit coming out of California about 4 years ago. He's fucking good. Ramirez is going to have his hands full tonight.
Well, what time is that? Is that playing
It's already going on right now.
Oh, shit. Paul goes, do you guys remember when Howard Cosell started dissing boxing during a fight?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't remember, but I remember hearing about it. Delilah says, blah, 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 everyone loves Ohio. No, just you, Delilah, and that would be Akron. She loves Akron. Delilah does.
Wait, you know Delilah said that...
she loves Ohio.
You know Delilah said there's nothing that Youngstown's boring and there's nothing that goes on here. I have to admit, Ohio probably has the most shit going on than most other than California and Florida.
And Texas.
Well, Texas is big.
Texas is real big. No, but Ohio has a lot of shit going on. But the thing is, the weather sucks, dude.
What do you mean, though? We have no hurricanes, no wildfires, no tornadoes.
We get blizzards, and we get blizzards. We get blizzards.
Get a blizzard.
We have a blizzard going on now.
We have no I said earthquakes. None of that shit.
Bill says, what's your opinion, James, about Tarver as commentator for bare knuckle boxing? You know, I've never seen Tarver cover bare knuckle boxing.
I see something with that.
You know what? I never minded Antonio Tarver. He's really insightful. He understands what he's talking about. I don't have anything bad to say. And you know, like I said, guys, this is just my opinion. I mean, like I said, everyone has one. And like I said, I don't know. I mean, for me saying Ray Mancini's good, 100,000 people say he's good. I just think that I think Ray's good for Youngstown. I think he was a great champion. I think he did great for the community. I just don't think that. I think there's better commentators they could have picked. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Kevin from Chicago said, I used to live in Arkansas as a kid when you whipped Jermaine Taylor, Benton, Arkansas.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
I did beat it on.
That's for, yeah.
Yeah, James, your dad lives in Arkansas.
My dad lives in Arkansas, yes. My neighbor, Phillips, my neighbor's from Youngstown. He tells me it's a tough town, and it is. It's a very tough town. And Scott says we have the best looking women. In Texas?
Sean goes, I've been all over the world since I was in the military. Ohio is the best place that I've ever been. And then he goes, Kelly, there is a fault line that runs underneath the Cleveland area. There are earthquakes, but never got one higher than 4.0. Well, we're due to get one.
California, though. My hometown gets earthquakes. Zepeda has the eye of the tiger pre-fight. Introduction going on. How you get this feel it's going to be a good one. I just know that Zepeda's a good fighter. I've seen him work. I've seen him spar. He used to be trained by Robert Alcazar, Oscar's old trainer. I know he's good. He used to be he's a good fighter. You ready to go?
Yep.
Hey guys, you know what? It's been a great show. Ruben says, I think Phillips is a little emotional bitch.
Oh, let me get this guy just popped on. Paul Molino says, I think Mikey's going to shock the boxing world when he beats Earl. I like that pick.
I do, yeah, I do. And Ruben's crazy. I love Ruben though. He's but you know what? Like I said, guys, great show tonight, and good night, and
yep.
Good show. Hey guys, what are we starting coming up soon? Boxing.
Oh, Boxing Companion.
We're doing a fight companion.
Fight Companion.
You want to tell everybody what it is?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty much we're watching the fight
with you.
You guys will not see the fight.
You watch it on your TV.
Yes, you'll watch it on your TV. I would suggest turning the volume all the way down or putting it on mute. And then we're going to pretty much commentate the fight as it's going on. Again, you guys can watch it. We'll watch it, but it won't be on our video.
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to roast the fight. We're going to talk shit, and you guys commentate with us. You guys can commentate the fight, and you guys could tell us how you scored, and we'll tell you how we scored. It's like a big fight party. You know what I mean? And if you guys, everybody's bitching about the commentating, turn the commentating down and commentate the fight for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
We're just going to do that on YouTube also.
Yes. But we're not going to be showing the fight. We're
not showing it, and we'll only be on YouTube.
So you guys go to YouTube for this to watch it.
So Facebook people, you're going to have to actually use that thumb 2 or 3 times, maybe at most.
And go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
For that. And hey, Fight Companion, you guys score the fight with us. You guys can talk shit and roast and ask questions, and we can watch the fight together. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Sean McKenzie, great show, y'all. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you guys. Hey, we appreciate you guys listening. And everybody likes the idea of Fight Companion. And you guys take care. Kevin, thanks for being on. Sorry about not being able to get to that, man. It's hard with all the things coming in. But thanks for your questions, Kevin. Sergio, Pittsburgh, thank you, man. Guys, go to YouTube, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Our Facebook media, thanks for tuning in. After these messages, you want to tell them about the bell?
You got to tell them. Subscribe.
I already said that.
Like and share.
But you're all up in your phone.
And I was reading the questions.
Okay, I done told him
that. Kevin said, James, no donuts in the parking lot. Hey, I don't eat like that, man. I don't eat shit like that no more, do I?
Yep.
But hey, hit that little bell icon to let you know when the shows are. Because we're Sunday now at 7 p.m. until football season starts.
Yep, Sunday at 7. And if we add another day on, we'll let you know. But Sunday's at 7.
Yes. And after these messages,
we'll be right back.